Hello guys, my name is Julia and welcome to my channel. Here I speak about astrology, feminine and masculine, inner power and the balance between all of these energies. And today we are going to speak about the karmas of the sun in the ninth house. So first let's talk about karma. What is it, karma? In Sanskrit, karma means action. So whatever action we do, wherever we put our energy, those things grows. What does that mean? In the past lives, we were investing our energy into different activities. We were doing different things, we were having different interests, we were having different types of relationships with different people. So we were putting different seeds of our energy into different aspects of our life. And then we come in this incarnation having our chart, and our chart, this is like the map of our energies in different fields, in everything what's going on inside. And so when we speak about karmas of the sun energy is about self-expression. This is how we shine to the world. This is how we express ourselves. This is how we are aware of our own being. It's the light of our soul. So it's like we are honestly who we are by expressing our sun energy. And so this is about our individuality, being self, understanding self, the awareness of self. The sun is also a representation of the mature masculine energy, because masculine energy is divided on Mars and Sun, and in this video, by the way, you can get to know more about it. So Mars is about the way we express ourselves in the physical world. Like, this is our more kind of physical power and the things we are achieving on the visible material level. And inner power is connected to sun energy. So this is our inner strength. This is our integrity. This is our strength to be self. And so when we have such energy in the ninth house, it means through the past lives, person have been using these energies and expressing self through the activities and things connected to the ninth house. And so what is ninth house? As we know, ninth house is one of the Trikon houses, which is very auspicious. And what does it mean? Planets in first, fourth, 7th and 10th houses kind of show their strong qualities. You can see them strongly, but it doesn't mean they're balanced. But the planets which we have in our charts in the 1st, 5th and 9th houses, those are the houses which show the best qualities of the planet. And so having planet in such house, it means by the energy of this planet, by the different things connected to this planet's energy, we've been doing really good in the past lives. And so 9th house is the house of our beliefs. This is about our wisdom. This is actually the 2nd house from the 8th house, because 8th house is about different struggles, pains, transformation, deep psychological issues. And so after healing that, we gain wisdom. And that's why the 2nd house from the 8th house and 9th house. So this is like what we got after going through different things. It's also connected to all the teachers, gurus and mentors we have in our life. And the father is a representation of our kind of first teacher who guides us in different ways. So when we see sun in this house, in Trikon house, we can see the best qualities coming up. If the person got sun in the 9th house, it means that person used to, from the past life, express self and understands like the confidence, the individuality of self is through being righteous, through being dependable, through being honest, through being noble. So the ethical and moral background is very important. Of course, if the sun doesn't have bad aspects of Rahu, Saturn, Ketu, or maybe sun is a lord of some bad house, so that can make the situation worse. But having such planet, which is also connected to righteousness, in the best house, which is connected to all the philosophical, moral and ethical bliss, it actually means that person is very also such placement means that person could be interested in spiritual pilgrimage for long distance travel in some spiritual places to find the guru and to get wisdom there, and also maybe shine as a guru or as a mentor for another people. But also it shows that person can have the masculine figure as a guru in life, as a teacher. So the basic thing which we can see from this is that for the person it's very important the beliefs which they have, their spiritual background, they trust it, and this kind of the things through which person understands their own individuality. So it's like when you are being reliable, when you are being honest, when you are being those one who wants to be always like look for justice in different things. So these kind of qualities, those are the essence of person's self-expression, and this usually goes from the family. Also person really has respect to family, respect to traditions, respect to education, respect to law. The vision of what is wrong and what is right is very strong, because sun always enlightens the area of where it sits. If person has this placement, it means sun enlightens, like the person asks these questions, what is wrong and what is right. And usually it goes from the family, so it starts from the family. And if the relationship with the family and the father, particularly because father is a representation of sun energy, is good, so it means person is raised in the family which is teaching them how to be like a good person. So in some way sometimes it can go to religious fanatism, but if it's in a balanced way, it's just the person with high ethical and moral standards. And also by such placement, what we can see is that 9th house is the 12th house from the 10th house. And 10th house is our public image and activity in the world, like what we do. And what is interesting here is that 9th house is the 12th house, and 12th house from every house is something like the backstage. This is something what happened behind the scenes. And so the better person has 9th house, like the better like morals and beliefs, and the more ethical and spiritual person is, the more healthy behind the scenes will be for the public image of this person. So what do I mean by this? Is that all the activity in the world will be guided by these morals and standards which person has in the 9th house. And if those place has really negative vibrations, so the public image can also be influenced not really well. So when we see sun in the 9th house, it shows that the person is prone to shine to the world with a guiding vibration. And when person can shine for others, like to lead others in some guiding in spiritual way. And what is spiritual? It means like when you are connected to your inner truth, to be who you really are, to be connected to your own spirit. So because when we have inspiration, it means we got something from the in spirit, we felt it. And so the 9th house is literally connected to this feeling of what is actually from within, guides us in different directions. And so the sun here shows that person is guided by such way of navigating life. And also the different religious knowledge can be also here and helpful, and sometimes they can also mislead person. Just be aware of the sign which sits there, because it will also give understanding how does sun actually feels in this house, and what exactly in past lives person were involved in sun energy activities. So how the person could lead, in which way. So Cancer energy can give, for example, family issues, and Virgo can show something about healing part. So the sign gives flavor to this sun. And so if it, for example, debilitated sun, it doesn't mean the person will have bad gurus or person will be misled. It just means that person can be kind of sacrificing their own individuality and their own truth because of some dogmas and some religious beliefs which were actually misguiding person. And as this sun is aspecting the third house of communication from the ninth house, it also shows that the more kind of healthy and balanced this sun and this expression in this moral way from person will be, the more healthier communication will be. Because if the person is just trying to be honest and always trying to be optimistic or supportive or trying to look for the wisdom about something, so the communication goes really nice and kind, and people like to ask for different solutions and different help, so this communication goes smooth. But when the person is trying to teach in a form of that they know better, or they feel that they have a lot of, for example, knowledge or wisdom from some way, so they can become arrogant. And so this arrogance can also influence the communication in the third house. So by the quality of the communication, you can also estimate how actually everything going on in your ninth house with your sun. Because the sun has this warmth, and so sun can give warmth by its energy if it's balanced, or sun can burn. And so you can just see the way communication is built with people. Do you burn people or do you warm them up? Also, the father can be really restrictive. So the person in the childhood can face this, it's why it is like this. Because person comes from the past life, for example, very, very strongly focused on how to be morally right, to do everything the right way and not doing anything wrong. And so person dies in that life and comes in this, and being in the family where people is also following a lot of rules and they're very serious about morals. And so the child, when we are teenagers, we always want to have fun, we want to go party or to go to try different things. We are rebellious from all of these rules. But in our subconscious, we have this sun energy, because we are not aware of these energies go on, but we live in the family which mirroring the energies which is going on inside of us. And we can have very strong restrictive father who says like, no, you cannot, for example, come back really late, or you cannot wear this length of skirt, or you cannot go on dates, it's not right, you have to just first have your education, everything, go to have marriage, and then you will have, for example, sexual relationships. So all of such restrictions are coming from the past lives, but they're mirrored in our family. And so sun in the ninth house literally shows that the father figure can have this restrictive vibe, which will be quite annoying in the teenage period, because person wants this freedom, and sun actually is about freedom. But in the ninth house, freedom can be restricted by the way that, like, the laws of how everything should be. So I hope you are feeling right now this difference between being free to trust the divine and live according to your spiritual inner guidance, and being not free by different restrictions from the outside, and what is wrong is what is right is said to you, and so you are following this guidance and you're not allowing yourself to be fully who you are. And so this roller coaster between these two sides is going on with a person with sun in the ninth house, because overall it's a great position, but it also has some not easy things, because you can be respectful and wonderful for another people, but is it easy for you to live this way? Because people with afflicted sun, they do a lot of, for example, wrong things, and they allow themselves to do it. Maybe you want to do it, but you're not allowing because something from the outside is telling you that this is wrong. The healthiest way for all of this, for this position, is that when you realize what is really true for you. This is why actually a person can be interested in spiritual pilgrimages, looking for their own answers. looking for their own truths, to build their own wisdom and their own belief system, to realize what is really work for them and where is the reality. And this is where a person can get this freedom from all the restrictions, because this coming from the inside, you are choosing, for example, not to do. Like, we know the ahimsa, not hurting another human or another creature. It means that you're not, for example, eating animals because you were said that it is wrong and you don't want to be wrong for another people, so you're trying to be good one and you're not eating, but you still want. But when you are choosing for yourself that this is your decision to not eat, for example, animals, and this is like your own inner guidance says to you, so you're not the slave of this outer world rules, but you are kind of choosing this from your own inner decision, which is not forced by anything, but by your own purity, for example. So the sun energy in the ninth house can have two sides, and be aware of this. And to understand the quality of the sun, we can look at our relationship with the father, because the way we connect with our father, the way this person hears and sees us and understands and respects us, this is the way we communicate with our sun energy. And the way this father feels with the health, with the condition, like the position in the world, how authoritative this person is, or how this person is respected in the society, or on the opposite side, this person can be very bad behaved. So according to the health and the condition of the father, we can understand the quality of our sun energy. And so when you look at your father, you can understand what's going on with your sun energy. And when you look on the relationship with your father, you can understand how do you relate to your sun. Because we can have quite nice sun energy, but we are not able, for example, to value it, and we just ignore it and use another energy to navigate life. But still we have very good and kind and loving and supportive father, and we are, for example, really crazy about material gains, and we just don't care about this. So what do I mean by this is that we can have the wonderful sun energy in the ninth house, but we can have some kind of disconnection to this. So it's also important to understand the difference. And the connection also connected to the way, like which house sun owns, because where the Leo sits, it will also show where this wisdom is coming to us, or in which way we will express ourselves as a righteous person, or so it's the combination of Leo and the quality of the sun, the way it sits in the house. So this is overall it's a great position for sun to have, but it's very important to not just kind of lose self and individuality into religious dogmas, because some of them can be not helpful for the human. Okay, I think this is it, and this is linked from my website. You can contact me if you want to know more about your positions and sun energy in your chart, and see you in the next videos. Bye bye.